Welcome to our channel. Today we're talking about the book Beyond Positive Thinking by Robert Anthony.
Oh, yeah, classic.
It really dives into how our thoughts can shape our reality, right?
hmm
Offering tools for creating positive change.
Exactly.
And speaking of positivity, have you heard of
I
AffirmifyJourney.com?
have, yeah.
They have personalized affirmations based on your zodiac sign.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. But back to the book.
Yeah.
It's not just about putting on a happy face and pretending everything's perfect, is it?
No, not at all. It's about going beyond that surface level optimism
Right?
and really understanding the psychology behind our thoughts and our actions.
Okay.
It's about aligning your thinking with reality, not just, wishing for things to be different.
So how does that actually work, this reality-based thinking? Because it sounds a little counterintuitive.
Sure.
Are we supposed to be striving for the most positive outcome?
Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
Imagine life is like a river, constantly flowing, and you can try to fight the current, exhaust yourself, and get nowhere.
Right.
Or you can learn to navigate it, use its power to propel you forward. That's what Anthony's arguing in this book.
I see.
It's about working with the reality of your situation.
Not denying it.
Exactly.
That's a great analogy. It's about accepting where you are right now so you can build from there.
Right.
And this ties into one of the book's central themes, right? The law of attraction.
Absolutely, yeah. The idea that attracts like is woven throughout the book. What you focus on, what you truly believe about yourself, you're going to draw more of that into your life.
So if you're constantly dwelling on lack, you're actually sending out a signal to the universe to
Yeah.
bring you more of that lack.
That's the idea.
It's almost like creating a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
But how much power do our beliefs really have? Can just changing our thoughts really change our lives?
The book uses this really fascinating example of baby elephants.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Have you?
Yeah.
So these baby elephants are trained to stay put using just a simple rope tied to a stake.
Right.
They're so small they could easily break free, but they don't even try. They've been conditioned to believe they can't.
So they grow up thinking they're limited by this rope, even when they're strong enough to pull up the entire stake.
Right.
It's that ingrained belief that's holding them back.
Exactly. And the same thing happens to us. We carry around these limiting beliefs about ourselves, about our capabilities, and they become our reality.
But they're not real.
Well, the truth is, those beliefs are often no more real than that rope for the elephant.
Wow, that's powerful stuff. And this leads us to the power of self-image, something the book dives deep into.
Yeah.
It's not just about positive thinking,
Right.
but about how our subconscious mind plays a huge role in shaping our reality.
It does. What's fascinating is this idea that our subconscious actually seeks to prove our conscious beliefs right.
Really?
So if we have a negative self-image, our subconscious will actually work to sabotage our efforts
Oh, wow.
and confirm those negative beliefs. It's almost like having a little inner critic constantly whispering, "See, I told you so."
So if we're constantly telling ourselves we're not good enough, not worthy, not capable, our subconscious will find ways to make that our reality.
Precisely. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? It makes you wonder, what are you telling yourself and how is that impacting your life?
It really does.
Yeah.
Because we might be chaining ourselves to limitations that only exist in our minds.
Yeah, that's right.
This completely flips the script on that whole seeing is believing idea.
Yeah.
The book actually argues that it's the other way around.
Believing is seeing.
Believing is seeing.
Yeah. Anthony directly challenges that common saying.
Interesting.
He proposes that you have to believe in your goal, believe in its possibility, before you can see the path to achieving it.
So it's not about waiting to see evidence before you believe, but believing so strongly that the evidence starts to appear.
It's about setting that intention, that unwavering belief in the outcome. And then, like magic, the universe starts conspiring to make it happen.
It's like, have you ever noticed how once you decide you want something, like a specific car,
Yeah.
you suddenly start seeing that car everywhere?
Oh, all the time.
Like it was always there, but I just wasn't tuned into it before?
Exactly. Your mind is now primed to notice it. It's a perfect illustration of how our beliefs can actually shape what we see in the world around us.
Okay, this is all incredibly insightful, but I'm curious about the practical side of things. How do we actually put these concepts into practice? Because it's one thing to talk about the power of belief, but how do we shift those deep-seated negative beliefs that might be holding us back?
That's a great question, and one that the book provides some really practical tools to address.
Okay.
Anthony introduces the concepts of intention statements
Okay.
and vivid visualization.
All right.
It's not just about vaguely wishing for something,
Right.
but actually declaring it as an intention
Okay.
and then picturing it as if it's already happening.
So it's about being really specific and deliberate with our thoughts, and then using our imagination to bring those thoughts to life, almost like creating a mental movie of our desired outcome.
Exactly. And the key with visualization is to engage all your senses. Make it real in your mind's eye. Feel the emotions, hear the sounds, even smell the sense of your desired reality. The more vivid the image, the more powerful the impact on your subconscious.
I can see how that would make a difference. It's not just thinking about it, but actually experiencing it in your mind. But what about something like financial abundance? Can these principles really be applied to something as tangible as money?
Absolutely. The book actually dedicates an entire chapter to achieving financial desires.
Oh, wow.
Anthony breaks down some common misconceptions about wealth
Okay.
and offers some really actionable steps to create financial abundance.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are some of the key takeaways from that chapter? Because I think a lot of people struggle with limiting beliefs around money.
Yeah, one of the first things he talks about is cultivating an attitude of gratitude. It's about appreciating what you already have, even if it's not what you ultimately desire. Because that feeling of gratitude actually attracts more abundance.
So it's not about ignoring what you lack, but shifting your focus to what you already have.
Precisely. It's about changing your internal state from one of scarcity to one of abundance.
I see.
And then he introduces this really interesting concept called seed money.
Seed money.
Yes.
I've never heard of that before.
It's based on the idea that giving actually attracts more abundance.
Okay.
It's about planting seeds of wealth by giving money with the expectation of a tenfold return.
So it's not about hoarding what you have, but putting it back into circulation with the belief that it will come back to you multiplied.
You got it. It's about trusting in the abundance of the universe.
Yeah.
And using the law of circulation to your advantage.
I love this idea. It really flips the script on the whole scarcity mindset that so many people have around money.
It does. And it ties into another key point from the book, the importance of giving and receiving to keep that abundance flowing.
So it's a continuous cycle.
It is. You give freely, you receive gratefully, and that energy keeps circulating, creating more and more abundance in your life.
It's like planting a seed and watching it grow into a beautiful, bountiful tree. But what about those times when we feel stuck, like something is holding us back from achieving our goals? What does the book say about overcoming those obstacles?
That's a great question, and one that we'll delve into further in the next part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back after a quick moment to continue our exploration of Beyond Positive Thinking. Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we were talking about overcoming those obstacles, right?
Yeah.
And shifting from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance. I think we've all felt stuck at some point.
Yeah.
Knowing there's more out there, but not quite knowing how to reach it.
It's a common feeling. But thankfully, Beyond Positive Thinking offers a practical 5-step process to address this. Anthony refers to it as the 5 words for results.
5 words that unlock the door to success. Okay, you've got my attention.
He often shortens it to the 5 R's to make it easy to remember.
5 R's. Okay.
It acts as a guide to reprogramming our subconscious minds for success.
So it's essentially like a step-by-step guide for consciously conditioning ourselves for success.
That's a great way to put it. It's about taking control of our thoughts and beliefs and aligning them with our goals.
Okay, so let's break it down.
Sure.
First up, relax.
Yeah.
Seems simple enough,
Right.
but I imagine it's more than just kicking back on the couch.
You're right. It's about creating a mental and emotional space where you're open to new ideas and possibilities. When we're tense or stressed, our minds close off, almost like we're trying to force a square peg into a round hole.
So the first step is to create that open space.
Yeah,
Relax our minds and bodies so we can be more receptive to the process.
exactly. It's about quieting the mental chatter and creating a sense of inner peace.
All right, I'm relaxed. I'm open. Now what?
Next comes recognize. This stage involves acknowledging the existence of a universal mind,
Oh, yeah.
a creative intelligence that permeates everything.
So we're not just individuals trying to will things into existence on our own. There's a greater force at play.
Yes, exactly. Recognizing that connection to a universal energy or force is key.
So we relax, we recognize this universal mind,
Yeah.
and then we realize
You got it.
Yeah.
Realize that you are a part of that universal mind, a
Okay.
part of that creative power.
It's like tapping into an infinite source of knowledge and potential.
It is. And that realization can be incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
It shifts us from a place of lack and limitation to a place of limitless possibility.
So we're not separate from this power, but rather a part of it. It's almost like we have this incredible energy flowing through us, just waiting to be harnessed.
That's a great way to think about it. Now, once we've relaxed, recognized, and realized,
Yeah.
it's time to reason.
Okay, so we bring in our logic and critical thinking at this stage.
Yes, we use our conscious minds to direct that creative power towards our goals.
I see.
It's about consciously choosing the thoughts and beliefs that will shape our reality.
So it's not enough to just believe in this universal mind passively. We have to actively direct it with our intentions.
You're getting it. It's like saying, okay, universe, this is what I want,
Okay,
and I'm going to use my mind to focus your power on making it happen.
this is starting to sound less like self-help and more like, well, tapping into the secrets of the universe.
It really is about aligning ourselves with the natural flow of creation
Yeah.
and working in partnership with this universal energy.
I'm loving this. Okay, last but not least, release. What does it mean to release in this context?
This is where we let go of any doubt or resistance and surrender to the process.
Okay.
We release any limiting beliefs or fears that might be holding us back.
So it's about trusting that the universe has our back, that things will unfold in the perfect way, even if we don't know exactly how that will look.
Exactly. We're essentially handing over the reins and saying, I've done my part. By relaxing, recognizing, realizing, and reasoning, now I trust in the power of the universal mind to bring my desires to fruition.
Wow, those 5 words are incredibly powerful when you put them all together.
It is.
Relax, recognize, realize, reason, release. It's a powerful process.
It is.
And it can be applied to any area of life, right?
Yes,
From finances to relationships to personal growth.
absolutely.
Speaking of personal growth, there's another key idea from the book that I'd love to unpack.
Okay.
This idea of giving up hope. It sounds a bit counterintuitive, doesn't it? I mean, aren't we supposed to be hopeful?
It might sound strange at first, but it's not about resigning yourself to a negative outcome.
Right.
It's about shifting from passive wishing to active creation.
So instead of just hoping things will get better, we're taking control and making them better.
Precisely. It's about giving up the illusion that some external force is going to swoop in and save the day. We are the heroes of our own stories.
So Anthony's urging us to step into our power and become conscious creators of our own reality. But how do we actually do that?
Well, one of the first steps is to recognize that hope, in the traditional sense, can actually be a form of procrastination.
I see.
It's a way of delaying taking action because we're waiting for something outside of ourselves to change.
So by letting go of hope, we're actually freeing ourselves to take action.
Exactly. And that brings us to another important point. The importance of living in the NOW.
That's something I personally struggle with. Constantly worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. It's like my mind is always somewhere other than the present moment.
It's a common human tendency, but Anthony stresses that true joy and fulfillment come from being present in this moment. Because this moment is all we truly have.
He's saying that our anxieties and problems often stem from focusing on what's not happening right now,
Yes.
on what might go wrong in the future,
Oh, right.
or what we regret from the past.
Yes. He encourages us to shift from a state of worry to a state of acceptance and appreciation. It's about bringing our attention back to the present moment.
Right.
And recognizing the abundance that already exists in our lives.
Easier said than done.
Right.
But I'm starting to understand the power of embracing the present moment.
There is real power in shifting our focus. From what we lack to what we have. From what's missing to what's already abundant in our lives. It's about recognizing the beauty and wonder that exist in every moment.
And that leads us to another concept that really resonated with me following your joy. The book encourages us to identify and pursue our passions,
Absolutely.
which makes a lot of sense, right?
It does. Anthony challenges us to ask ourselves some deep questions. What truly excites us? What brings us a sense of fulfillment? Because it's not selfish to pursue what brings you joy.
Right.
It's actually about unleashing your authentic self.
So it's about recognizing that we all have unique gifts and talents.
Yeah.
And that by expressing those gifts, we not only bring joy to ourselves, but also contribute to the world in a meaningful way.
Exactly. And when we're living in alignment with our passions, we create a positive ripple effect that impacts everyone around us.
It's like we become beacons of light, inspiring others to do the same.
But sometimes it can be hard to even know what brings us joy, especially if we've been living on autopilot for a long time. What does Anthony suggest for those of us who are struggling to identify our passions?
That's a great question. And I think we'll start by exploring that as we move into the final part of our deep dive into Beyond Positive Thinking.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Beyond Positive Thinking.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It really has. We've covered so much ground, understanding the power of our beliefs and learning how to work with the universe to create the life we desire.
Yeah.
As we wrap things up, what are some of the most practical takeaways that our listeners can, start applying in their own lives right now?
One of the most powerful takeaways for me is the reminder that we are not our thoughts.
We have the power to choose which thoughts we focus on, which beliefs we cultivate. It's like we have this mental garden.
Okay.
And we can choose to plant seeds of doubt and fear or seeds of hope and abundance.
So instead of feeling trapped by our thoughts, we can actually step back and observe them,
Yes,
almost like a detached observer, and then choose which ones to water and nurture.
exactly. And it ties into that analogy of being the driver, not the passenger in our own lives.
Right.
We get to choose our destination,
Yeah.
but we also have the power to choose the route we take, the scenery we enjoy along the way.
That's such a great visual. It's empowering to remember that we have that much control
Mm-hmm.
over our own experience. But it also sounds like it takes a lot of conscious effort.
It does. But the book provides some practical tools to make that process easier. Remember those intention statements and vivid visualization techniques we talked about?
Right.
Those are incredibly powerful for shaping our thoughts
Hmm.
and aligning them with our goals.
So if we're feeling lost or stuck, we can start by getting really clear on what we want,
Yes.
writing it down as an intention,
Yeah.
and then using our imaginations to create a vivid mental picture of that desired outcome.
And don't forget about the importance of feeling the emotions associated with that outcome. It's not just about seeing it in your mind's eye, but also feeling the joy, the gratitude, the sense of accomplishment that comes with achieving your goal.
It's about making it real on every level, mentally, emotionally, even physically, by embodying the energy of that desired reality.
Yeah.
But what about the times when we're facing challenges or setbacks? How do we stay positive and keep moving forward when things get tough?
Well, the book emphasizes the importance of self-acceptance, even in the face of adversity. It's about acknowledging our strengths and weaknesses without judgment and embracing our whole selves, the good, the bad, and the messy.
Because when we can accept ourselves fully, warts and all,
Right.
we create a foundation of self-worth that allows us to navigate those challenges with more grace and resilience.
Absolutely. And remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone on the path to success. It's all part of the journey.
So instead of beating ourselves up when we make mistakes, we can view them as valuable learning opportunities.
Yes.
Adjust our course and keep moving forward.
That's the spirit. As Anthony reminds us, it's always better to have tried and failed than to have never tried at all.
This whole concept of giving up hope in exchange for action is still so powerful to me. It's such a profound shift in perspective.
It really is. It's about recognizing that true power lies in taking action, in becoming conscious creators of our own reality, rather than passively hoping for things to change.
And it all ties back to that beautiful idea that we are co-creators with the universe.
Right.
We have this incredible power within us to shape our reality through our thoughts, beliefs, and actions.
It's a humbling thought, isn't it, to think that we have that much influence over the unfolding of our own lives.
It really is.
But it also comes with great responsibility to use that power wisely and intentionally.
This deep dive has truly been transformative. I feel like I've been given a whole new set of tools and perspectives to create the life I truly desire.
I'm so glad to hear that. And remember, the journey doesn't end here. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing beyond the limits of your current thinking. There's always more to discover, always more to create.
And if you're looking for more inspiration and support on your journey, don't forget to check out affirmifyjourney.com.
They have personalized affirmations, motivational content, and a supportive community, all dedicated to helping you live your best life.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive into Beyond Positive Thinking. Until next time, keep believing, keep creating, and keep moving.